guys, so I thought I'd do a quick update of where we're at now. So I've got the site live. It's got like 500 odd articles on, nearly 600 articles. Some programmatic content in the geology and some like best articles here. So I just want to go through a few key points I basically did. So with the about page, you can actually change it in rank math so the author page goes in the URL structure. It would be about us, the slash, and then the authors. But if you do that with rank math, it doesn't let you do any other pages. It'll just like cancels it out. So what I've done instead is just make sure that like the advertising policy, editorial, all this is like after the about page. And I've done a reverse silo structure, or well, technically I've done like a priority money silo structure, but reverse silo is basically the basis, which I'll go over in a minute. So it's siloed in the URL, and then it's reverse siloed. So all these pages actually link up to the about page, and then the about page always links down to the sub pages or whatever the head folder is basically. So I've done that, sorted out the footer. I've added an address in the footer, which I'm going to be using for citations as well. I've put all these policies in the footer too. I've got all the social media pages set up and put them live. Put the Amazon just disclaimer on, which is also in the sort of disclaimers too. And the contact set up with the about page as well. Let me just go through the structure. So I'll do the content breakdown, seems though this is first. So I decided to figure out like how much money I've spent on AI so far, and these posts I've edited and changed it a little bit now, but this is what it was originally when I did it. So we got 562 posts in total, and the cost of AI cost me $447 in total, which works out at 80 cents per article. And most of the articles are over 2,000 words, so it's cheap. And every article on this website is actually GPT-4 Turbo, so it's not even 3.5, so it's not the cheaper content. So you can get this a lot cheaper if you really wanted to. And this is the breakdown from what I did for Koala and Cuppa. So Koala, it was like 2.4. So I bought the Black Friday package, and this was like the remaining cost out the Black Friday package. So obviously it makes it a little bit cheaper because I got it when it was cheaper. And then I bought a monthly plan, which was this much, and that's how many words I used in the monthly plan and the cost, what I've done so far. And then for Cuppa, the price is the yearly price is $150. The content cost only cost me $89, and they're the amount of articles and the amount of Koala articles. And the thing is with the Cuppa articles as well, they was a lot bigger because with Koala there was a little bit shorter because you can do review and like best roundup articles. So some of those articles was a lot shorter. Cuppa articles was generally a bit longer, and they worked out a bit cheaper. So they both have pros and cons. Like Cuppa from now on I'll use for informational articles and for the programmatic stuff, which is great, and Koala I'm only going to use now for the review articles, which he does really well. So I'm going to be using both. They're really good, but Cuppa from now on is going to be the main like content, informational content stuff. And what else we got here? So yeah, it's basically just when I went over it, it's basically kind of pointless using ChatGPT to create these articles when you can get it at such low cost, just producing it this way. So I generally wouldn't advise doing ChatGPT for like just inputting each one manually and doing that. It takes so much extra time. This process is a lot cheap. Well, it's more expensive obviously because it's using a tool, but the amount of time you save makes it well worthwhile and a lot cheaper. So this is what I was talking about with the internal links and silo structure. So it's basically to keep topical relevance, the reverse silo. So this is an example of how the site's set up in the geology category. So it goes to geology, rock hounding, and then a pricing guide, identifications, and state by state. And then this is obviously under the pricing guide here. But there's not enough room, it's just going to get too convoluted if I start adding everything. But this is the basic structure. And how it works off with the reverse silo is the homepage was linked to geology, and geology will link back up to the homepage, and it kind of does that throughout the entire site. So this keeps topical authority and topical relevance because you're actually keeping it within that structure. If you like start linking from a pricing guide to like astronomy, it's very unrelated. Like what are like a meteor, well, what like jade costs kind of thing linking up to astronomy. It's not relevant at all, so you lose that topical relevance. But if you keep it like this, it keeps the relevancy. And then say if how much is jade worth gets a backlink, that backlink juice is going to go up to pricing guide. It's not just going to sit there, it actually goes throughout the site. And same if you get links like Rockhound, and it goes through and it goes throughout the entire site. So the reverse silo structure is like key, and it's kind of like a very easy, friendly way to do internal linking. Just on every page, you're just linking up and down basically to each one. So it's nice and easy, and it's safe to kind of do because it keeps a relevancy. But Matt Diggity calls something called a priority silo. I kind of call it a money silo. So it's the same as the reverse silo. This is the structure of it, but what you want to do is also link to your money pages. So for me, this pricing guide is going to have a book or a little course on buying and selling rocks and crystals and stuff like that. So everything's going to be linking up to this, and this is going to be like a sales page. This is like how you want it structured in the URLs and everything like that. You do the websites to actually make money, so you want to start linking to pages which are going to make you money basically. So for me, it's kind of this. I've obviously not set up this page yet, which I need to do, but let me just go through. So let me do, have we got any, so we got a page there. So this will link back up to the pricing guides in the URL, and it also links in the content to pricing guides. And with the anchor text internal linking, you kind of, it does depend on the niche. You kind of want to mix it up, so you don't want it to always say pricing guides. You want to try and make it a little bit relevant, but kind of just linking on each article. Pretty much they're all kind of unique, with obviously the majority being about selling the products. But this is how you do it, and you just do, I'm just doing one internal link back up, and it's also linked in the URL structure as well, and in the breadcrumbs. So it's all nicely internal linked together. And then this pricing guide page is going to be pages where it's actually going to sell products and be a hub for all these pages, which I still need to do. And so what have I not touched on? So with the money pages, with this you also want to link from within the category, but in the different sections. So like the identification guides, and say like the states pages, so like where to find rocks in Alaska, like this would also link up to the money pages as well. So it's basically just the reverse silo, but you can use other pages within that kind of category to actually link to these money pages. So that way it's you funneling traffic to where you're going to kind of make money, and giving these more relevance and more like authority kind of on your site, and making sure Google kind of crawls them and prioritizes indexing and ranking those pages. So that's pretty much how it works. It's fairly simple, but if you don't know how to do it, you don't know how to do it. So hopefully that helped. And what else do I want to touch on? So I think that's pretty much it. So next I'm going to be sorting out some internal links, next backlinks actually. So it's going to be more just citations to this, and I'm going to build some calculator pages. So as soon as I do that, I'm going to do it through ChatGPT and then kind of show you how it's done. So take this article for example. I still need to change it up, so it's like a space names for dogs generator. So what I'm going to do is go to ChatGPT, figure out how to build a calculator on here, build a calculator, update this article a little bit, and then I'm going to do a PR piece for this article, and I'm going to try and get it on Product Hunt as well and see what happens. But basically I'm just going to drive interest and try and get this page a bit of traffic and a bit of traction, which will help the overall site basically. But that's going to be the next tactic. As soon as I figure this out and get this done on this page, I'll do a little video and teach you how to do it as well. And that's pretty much it for the update. So everything's live and indexed and ready to go. Alright, catch you in the next video.